All right, so this is Casey. He's your inspector. You can see his face perfectly, of course.
Good morning, guys. Oh, sorry. So I just finished the inspection report here, so we're going to give you a little brief synopsis of what some of the things I want to bring to your attention here. Okay, I'm going to support all these with color photos when I email you guys the report tomorrow. Okay, but while you're not here, we're going to just kind of point out a couple things for you guys. Okay.
Okay.
First being right here on the south side of the house. Okay, so on the roof we have some bare spots on the roof. We're along the edge of the roof. The rock and the gravel is not there, so we have some exposed felt paper, and over time right along that edge water will seep underneath that felt paper. So on the south end we got some sagging eaves where the eaves have sagged a little bit because there is some moisture damage from above, where, like I said, the roof covering is not there to allow water to come through that edge there. So on the south side we got some areas where we got some sagging eaves, a little bit of wood rot, which I think will pop up in the termite report as well.
Actually, they did the termite report, and they just said that there was some over on these tail ends.
We got a little bit of wood rot and everything damage here. You know, like I said, where water probably comes through.
Yeah, I think that's where they found it, and then they found a little bit that was over there. Yeah, talk to me a little bit about the roof. Like, so what's your feeling about the overall age of the roof and condition of the roof?
I can't really, it's really hard to determine the age of the roof based on the type of roof it is, because it's tar and gravel. So it's not like, the material is just rock. So that's what you see up there. So, rock always, you can't really tell the age of rock. But as you walk on it, the plywood underneath it is it's not soft, it's not cracking, it's not mushy. But given the way that, you have an AC guy in there that says that the ductwork is a flexible ductwork, which means, in 1958, it wasn't flexible ductwork. So perhaps in the year 2000, when they put in a new furnace and a new air conditioner, they might have replaced that ducting, which means they might have come in through the roof and did that. And it could be that the plywood's 20 years old. But
so on the roof stuff, on the repairs, I think on this I've seen before that they sort of pull back the rock.
Yep.
They do new tar in that area. And then they bring the rock back and supplement with some additional rock. Is that typically how you deal with it?
Pretty much. And then the wind, if you have any trees along the edge, and then, as it winds, it kind of sweeps the rock away. And so you have this exposed felt paper, which does have a lifespan, and if that's exposed to the element, that's what fails.
Okay, so really, in this particular situation, if there is something that needs to be addressed here, are you thinking more often than not it's going to be peeling this back, just making sure it's okay, some more fresh tar?
Making sure that edge is sealed so that water can't get below that felt paper, between the flashing and the felt paper, and get into the eave.
Okay, that'd be fine.
The electrical panel that's here is a Zinsco panel.
Zinsco panel, okay.
Zinsco panels are no longer allowed in the industry. They're not, they're no longer made due to documented fire hazards. So you don't have any of that issues going on.
Is that an original one?
Yeah.
And original means it's from the 50s or what? Okay, so.
Yeah, Zinsco's kind of got phased out, like mid-70s, late 70s. But this one appears to be that it's probably original,
Okay.
Or very, very early on if it wasn't the original, because that could have been the case too.
But you're saying that it looks fine?
Yeah, there's no evidence. None of the reasons why they're no longer in the industry are existing in your panel. Okay. I just want you to know it's a Zinsco panel. So if you have an electrician that comes over to the house and wants to do work, they might bring it up to you that it's no longer allowed, and I don't like for that to be the first time you hear about it.
So they're putting solar on, which means they're doing interactivity.
Have solar. Yeah, they already have solar.
Well, yeah. So has that already been connected through the Zinsco?
Yeah.
Okay, so that probably means.
That's what I mean. Everything got addressed at that point.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Water, plumbing.
Sure. Sorry. Excuse me.
This gate right here doesn't have a self-closing device. You want kind of, you don't want anyone to come to your front door and go into the backyard and drown. So all gates leading to the backyard should have a self-closing device.
Okay, so it should have a spring somewhere over here that makes it close automatically.
On the west side of the house does.
Okay.
Here we got a hose bib here on this north side of the garage, where the pipe right here is leaking continuously on the supply pipe to the hose bib on this north side of the garage.
So that extension is a little bit of a...
Yeah, it's not going to get better with time, so it's just a leak is a leak is a leak.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see here. Water heater, we can get to it, but water heater is just a 2004 model, so I bring it to your attention so that you have an older water heater on the house, so that you're aware of it, monitor it. It's 2004, 40-gallon unit. Okay.
Did it seem like
it's working fine? It's working fine. Just,
no knocking or anything like that?
Just, we got 2000 air conditioner, 2000 furnace, 2004 water heater. So you have older major components, and I bring those in red so that you have older stuff. But everything is operating today. There's no signs of it failing or anything today other than its age. But, a lot of times in the desert, we don't have year-round residents. So, They might not have that 20 years of wear and tear or the 16 years of wear and tear, but at the end of the day, they are older than 15 years old. So I want to bring it to your attention for that reason.
The evaporative cooler, is that something
Did not
you
respond
test?
to the thermostat.
Okay.
Turn on the thermostat, nothing kicks on. I don't know if the AC guy here is going to try and get it to work, but it never kicked on today.
Yeah, they said in the disclosures that it wasn't operating. So I was just kind of curious.
It never kicked on today.
Okay.
Okay. Air conditioning itself. Air conditioning itself looks good. Heater looks good. The heater, we can go in the house when we do it, but we'll circle around. We'll keep walking around here. So I always know when you have a doggy door installed in the house, in case you don't have a dog, but you do have a pet door that's penetrating the wall on this east side of the house.
Okay.
Let's see here. Okay, we go to the pool equipment.
Okay. And the pool, as far as surface, everything looks like it's fine.
Plastic looks in good shape. Tile looks in good shape. Coping looks in good shape. But we do have it looks like it was plumbed for an autofill. So this is where a float would go, but it's missing a float assembly.
And the float acts like your toilet. So when you get to a certain level, it turns it off, right?
Right. And then this valve would stay on right here. This valve would stay on. So you always leave this valve on, and then the float will regulate the water level. But it's just going to overflow right now because it's got because there's no float.
Got it.
So when you try to fill up the pool, that's what's happening.
A lot of water. Okay.
Okay.
So if you have a float there, then you'd be able to leave that water going, and then it would automatically keep your pool at the level it's supposed to be.
So you don't burn up a pump.
Which would be so nice because I can't do that. I always have to do it there.
Moving on here, the spa. The spa light is burnt out. It did not illuminate today, so the spa light is burnt out.
Okay.
We do have some uneven concrete on this west side of the pool here that does present a trip hazard, so I just put in the report so that you can let your guests know to monitor in case no one doesn't want anyone to trip.
Okay.
By the pool equipment itself. The pump is not bonded or grounded, so there's no ground wire connecting this pump, bonding it.
Okay.
Same thing with the heater, it also requires to be grounded. It's missing the grounding wire also. Your GFCI outlet is missing an exterior cover. Your sub panel is missing. The hinges are disconnected on the sub panel. And then when the filter and everything is operating, water is leaking from the seal cover on the filter. So water drips from here when the pump and everything is running. So this seal, there's a little O-ring. It's either pinched or cross-threaded or missing, but you've got some water leaking from here.
On the bonding, is that something where they just run it over to that copper pipe or to that pipe?
Well,
over
usually what they do is they put a ground rod, they hammer a ground rod into the earth, and then they put the copper wire onto that ground rod and then connect it to the components.
Okay, and there's no ground rod that you saw?
I don't see one. I don't see any of that going on, but it could be buried somewhere under there. I just didn't see anything coming up. So.
Okay.
A pool guy would need to address that. And then also with the pool heater here, pool spa heater is missing a sediment trap on the gas pipe.
All right,
which just is a little nipple that should catch any debris before that gas can into the other.
And that's usually, I mean, you have to point it out, but that's something that you usually would take care of when you replace it more often than not?
Yeah, at this point, I mean, a pool guy could throw it in there, but, at the time this was installed, they probably should have put it on there at that point. But, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I'm not sure what it really does other than it's required.
Okay.
And technically it's supposed to stop dirt. A pool guy might want a bigger filter. This is a little filter for a pool and a spa, so a pool guy might talk about maybe getting a bigger filter, but you don't see these long skinny ones. You see little round ones.
Right.
Okay, excuse me.
All right, we're back again.
Okay, moving on here. Oh, the spa jets. When you turn on the spa jets, we don't got any bubbles. We don't have any suction. We don't have any of that massage effect from the spa jets when we put it in the spa jet mode. So there may be some suction draw or a valve that might not be opening to allow some suction, but we don't have any massage effect from your spa jets when they're on.
So there's sort of a pool equipment look at.
Yes, the valves turn. The automated valves rotate 180 degrees. These valves turn, this valve turns, but we don't got any draw from the spa jets. Okay. Here on this west side of the house, I just called it, I said a dislodged louvered vent on the west side of the house. Perhaps that might have been how somebody might have gotten in the act at one point in time. Got our water heater here on this west side of the house. All that's good. Gas meters over here. The main water shut off to the house. I didn't see anything here at the house, so you do have a ball valve in the meter next to the curb outside by the street. So that would be how you would turn off the water to the house, because I don't see any individual valve here at the house where you turn it off.
Alrighty.
Okay. Water heater is located in this west closet here.
I'm moving the camera around so you can see the view in the back.
Everything else inside the house.
Okay, back in front of the garage.
Right here in the garage, we got the weather seals separating from the frame, and then probably need some on both sides. We got some daylight visible going into the garage, so I think we're missing some, and then we got some separating on that weather stripping.
Okay, so that needs a little addressing. Okay.
Okay, and the rest of the stuff.
And it looks like there's a little bit of wood down here that probably needs to be addressed as well. All right, so next up is inside. What you got for us?
All right, well, first thing in the house is with the fireplace, and you'll see in the picture, but when we turn on the gas fireplace, we don't have a flame that extends the whole width of the log, you know, of the pipe. So I called it an irregular, unbalanced gas flow into the firebox. Technically, there's no screen.
And by the way, just so you know, it fires on the right-hand side, and then from about the center to the left is where it does not fire.
Right. And then, since you have a gas line that goes into the fireplace, a damper that opens and closes to the chimney is required to have a little clamp on it that keeps it from closing. It's missing that little clamp.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, actually, give me just a second. All right. Sorry about that, Casey. Let's continue.
In the living room here, I'm calling it the center west window. So there's four sliders on this north wall in the living room. I'm calling it the center west slider.
Right.
Missing the latch handle.
Yeah, I saw that. That's interesting.
And then there's 5 slider doors here in this living room. 2 of them are missing slider screens.
Okay.
Okay. Bedrooms.
Okay.
Primary bedroom closets missing a latch handle for the pocket door here.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. And then here in the primary bathroom, we do have one little leak under here. Underneath the cabinet or sink, whatever this frame is, it's leaking at the drain pipe. So when water's running, it's leaking from the drain pipe that's visible from underneath the tile sink here.
Is it a lot of water or just a little
drip?
drip?
That's a pretty good drip.
Okay, so
it's a pretty good drip.
Is it just that the P-trap needs to be readjusted? And
I think it might be where the throat connects to the sink.
Oh,
where the pipe connects to the sink, I think it's running down that area and then just dripping from the bottom of the trap.
And I noted also that the color of that is pretty changed, so I have a feeling that's going to be replaced. And at that point, the water will be fixed.
Yeah, because you'll put new plumber's putty under that and all that when you put that new flange in. Let's see here. In the hall bathroom, we call it the hall bathroom.
Okay. Hey guys.
Your tub shower does not work in this tub mode. There's the diverter, it's stuck, it doesn't pull out. So there's no really way to fill up the tub. There's a diverter shot right here for the faucet now. So
okay.
This would be a button that would stick out and you push it in to make it go in shower mode.
Right,
and it does not pull out in order to get it in the tub mode.
Okay.
So this diverter has failed.
And I'm assuming that it wouldn't be just pulling off the trim and seeing if it's done that way. You think?
Well, see, I took my little pliers here and I pulled this out and it just came out with my pliers, so it doesn't connect to anything.
Okay. Okay. So it's not doing it.
In the kitchen is the only thing left in the kitchen.
Okay.
Okay, and here in the kitchen, our dishwasher does not have an air gap.
Oh, not the air
Which
gap.
is the most common thing you see on the sink. You got a little air gap here that allows the air to vent from the dishwasher drain hose. If you don't have that air gap, you need what's called a high loop installation, where they take the drain hose inside the cabinet below the sink and they kind of mount it higher in the back of the cabinet. What you're trying to accomplish is you want that drain hose to be higher than where it connects to your garbage disposal.
So in this situation, it would be right about here in the cabinet, so it's higher than your P-trap.
Correct. Correct.
And is there enough tube to do that?
Yes, there's slack.
There's plenty of slack. Okay, so.
And then here in the kitchen, we got a switch on the north wall that I said has unknown function, doesn't turn anything on, doesn't turn anything off.
Okay.
And then we have 2 switches here on the east wall. Both of them go to the same fixture. So, and they're separated from the box. This box ain't flush with the wall here.
Yeah,
so
I
need a little
noticed.
attention there.
I'll actually show you that because I noticed that as well. It looks like the box is actually flush. It's the plugs or switches that have too much wire behind it.
Probably could just get one switch. I mean, unless one of these switches should be going to that outside light. And that's pretty much all we have. So I'll put the rest of it together. It'll be a nice little package. It'll be a PDF formatted file. I'll email it to you guys tomorrow on CC Mark, along with an invoice, and then we can talk again once you have everything in front of you if we need to.
Okay.
I thank you guys for the work.
Hey, Casey, thank you.
All right.
Ready?
Yeah, already. So tell us about the plumbing over here.
Okay, so the plumbing went through a 2-inch clean out right over here in front of the house.
Okay.
What's under the house is cast, which is typical of the ages around here, Palm Springs, everything. The cast looks good. It's not super barnacly, as what we like to call it.
Okay.
It does transition into ABS, which is good.
Is that underneath this area? Where...
It's underneath. I'm assuming it's somewhere under here, because there's a stamp out there at the curb.
And the stamp is sort of in line with the garage?
Yeah, somewhere out by just past the mailbox. I think.
Okay, okay.
And then it goes out to, it looks like they brought it as far as they could to meet the clay to where it meets the street.
Okay, so it's cast,
that-
ABS, and then
Yeah,
clay.
and then, because you can only go so far because of depth and everything.
Okay.
The city, it's still their little part of the lateral, I guess you would call it.
Got it.
But there is like a 20-foot section that's holding water. That could be either a belly or back grade.
Okay. Is it holding debris as well, or is it just water?
It looks like water and whatever floaty stuff. My camera went through it, no problem. So I'm not going to say there's any roots or anything. So
okay, and we're not getting like
settled.
There's not getting like a buildup of toilet paper and feces and all other stuff. It's just
it's just kind of just filmy, real
Okay.
hard to see. But the camera, you know, goes on the bottom of the pipe, so it could only be like an inch or so of water.
okay. Okay.
But I mean, technically you don't want to see it, but it's there. That, like I said, the pipe could have settled, or there could be a little back grade.
And that's
Kinda
I'm
going
assuming
uphill.
that's kind of average on a
It
home
kind
of
of
this
happens,
age.
yeah.
Okay.
It happens. So,
So in
other than
general,
that, everything
it's all
I
good.
think is pretty good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.